When Jay-Z, P. Diddy, Naomi Campbell, and Elton John need to get the party started, they call our next guest DJ Cassidy.
He's played for the Obamas at the White House, Oprah Winfrey in South Africa, and Michael Jordan in the Bahamas. And today, he's here to discuss his new album, Paradise Royale. DJ Cassidy, welcome to Arise 360.
How are you guys? Thank you for having me. That intro was incredible, by the way. I'm just,
well, your career is incredible.
Yeah, your
career
is incredible. We were talking about the Obamas earlier in the show, and you actually DJ'd President Obama's 50th birthday? Is
and
that
the First Ladies as well.
And the First Ladies. Okay,
at
so
the White House.
What do they listen to? I mean, is he like a 2 Chainz fan? Juicy J? Just
you know, I
kidding.
get asked this all the time, and I always say, you know, they are just like anyone else. They like all kinds of music. They like to dance. They like to party. And I always get asked, you know, what does the Obamas like to dance to? Tell us what, you know, Jay-Z likes to dance to. And, you know, people are people. They all like to dance, they all like to celebrate, and we all like the same things.
Now, I hear that if you put on a Michael Jackson song, the right Michael Jackson song, that always gets the party started. Is that true for the Obamas?
Oh, it's true for everyone.
Everyone.
I mean, Michael Jackson, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, is the greatest party record ever recorded, in my opinion.
Don't stop till you get enough.
No matter where you are in the world, it doesn't matter if I'm playing hip-hop music, house music, rock and roll music, reggae music, Latin music, everything in between. If you throw on Michael Jackson, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, it not only works, it kills.
Wow, you mentioned all the genres you play, but how have you managed to distinguish yourself from all the other DJs that are out there? And what makes a DJ Cassidy party special?
Yeah.
Well, by doing just that. I've always made it my mission to play all music for all people all over the world. That was my mission as a little kid when I started, and it still is now today. I make it my mission to be able to rock all crowds with all kinds of music. And I never have a script. I go into a party, I see who's in front of me, and I rock the party. And I think that's what really has led, you know, to my, you know, success as a DJ throughout the years.
I interviewed you years ago for the New York Times, and one of the things that you told me back then is the importance of being able to read the crowd. So talk to us about how you read the crowd, DJ Cassidy.
Well, it's the #1 important thing. You know, you can have all the music in the world, but you need the ability to read the people in front of you. How? It's not really something you can explain. It's you need to read the emotion, you need to read the spirit, you need to make people move. And it's your ability to do that that's going to separate you from others.
It's true. Now, I personally think that P. Diddy throws the best parties in the world. I know you've DJ'd more than a few. I've been at parties that you've DJ'd for him, and they have been incredible.
Thank you.
But
his parties are absolutely legendary.
They are indeed. They are indeed. But if you had to sort of come up with your top 3 favorite parties of all time that you've DJ'd, what would they be, DJ Cassidy? Because I mean,
in no special order.
Oprah's New Year's party. Yeah, no order, just top 3.
Oprah Winfrey New Year's Eve party, celebrating the opening of her school in South Africa, 2006 into 2007. Wow. The guest list was Nelson Mandela, Sidney Poitier, Cicely Tyson, Tina Turner, Ashford and Simpson, Spike Lee, Mary J. Blige. I actually met a lot of people at that party. It was because of that party I started to DJ for Tina Turner. I DJ'd her 70th birthday in Switzerland.
You're kidding.
I met Mary J. Blige at that party. I met a lot of people at that party.
So who haven't you DJ'd for? Who would you like to DJ for?
Yeah, that's a good question.
You know, my dream was to play for Michael Jackson.
Oh.
And that never happened. I never met him. So I don't know. We'll see where the future takes me.
Well, you're not only known for your music, but also your style. You have that signature hat you love to wear.
Yes, the boater hat.
Yes. How would you describe your style exactly?
You know, it's a very hard question. It's a very I don't know. I like to leave that to other people. It's a very, very hard question. You know, I started rocking this hat, the boater hat, about 5-6 years ago. And it just stuck. It became my signature. You know, I can be walking down the street a mile away and people see the hat and they know it's me. It's you know, to a point if I go to a show, if I go to a sound check and I don't have the hat on, the promoter's like, yo, I need the hat, you're wearing the hat, right? It's become such a staple.
Is it like Pharrell's hat? Does it have its own Twitter account now?
It needs its own Twitter. It doesn't. It should, right?
Cassidy's hat, at Cassidy's hat.
He got the Twitter account first.
Well, do you do all the styling yourself? And how long does it take you to pick out an outfit?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I just threw this on. I know that sounds so cliche.
yeah, right.
No. I know it sounds cliche. I really
Cassidy,
did.
you have on a brooch. You didn't just throw this on.
The brooch was on the jacket from the last time I wore it. I'll tell you the truth.
You have on a brooch.
I really threw this outfit on. But one thing about me that people find so surprising is I wear a lot of the same things again. I'm not one of these people who needs to only wear a jacket once. Now I can't wear it for 6 months. No. I have a few things I wear in the winter, then I switch it up spring, and I switch it up summer. It's like, I make my signature things and I rock them hard.
Okay.
So to get dressed is never really a big ordeal.
Okay.
Now let's talk about
Liberating, right?
It's
It sounds liberating. You're like, I should do that.
I
Yeah.
wish I could be that lucky. They'll clock you on TV. She wore that dress about 15
I guess.
times.
I guess.
2 times and they'll be tweeting about you.
I
Right?
know. Let's talk about when you started. You've been spinning since you were 10?
10 years old.
What about the turntables appealed to you back then?
I was a hip hop kid, so I just wanted to do anything and everything in hip hop. And when I was 9 years old, I asked my parents for 2 turntables and a mixer. And my career started when I was 10.
You were kidding.
So then
Yeah.
what was your big break, that one thing that just launched your career?
Well, it was all really a snowball effect. I DJ'd everything in school. Carnivals, talent shows, homecoming parties. And by the time I finished high school, I was DJing the hot spots around town. And I met Puffy when I was 18 years old.
Wow.
I DJ'd my first party for him when I was 18, and that really was a moment in my career.
Wow.
Wow. That sounds like a huge moment.
Yeah.
It was a moment. It was 2001 MTV Awards, every person you could ever imagine in the room, and he had seen me at a club the week before, and he liked what he heard.
So at that time, was there a learning curve on your DJing? Were you an instant success after that? What were those first parties like?
I mean, when I look back on my skill level, then I laugh. It was not like it is now, but you continue to grow. And I guess he and other people, saw something in me.
Yeah.
And they stuck with me. And I soon thereafter him started to play for Jennifer Lopez and Jay-Z and Beyonce and Russell Simmons, Naomi Campbell, the list goes on. And I continue to now. So, all those people that I met as a kid are still in my life today, which is amazing.
Well, you have to explain something to me because I'm wondering, you keep name dropping all these wonderful people.
I'm sorry, I don't
but how
mean
does
to.
no,
You
no,
just-
it's good.
name
We-
dropping.
I'm trying to tell the
matter of
story.
fact.
It's
No, it's
impossible.
a story, yeah.
I can't
Matter
tell
of
the
fact,
story
but-
without.
I love
I
how
like
you just
it.
say it so casually. It's great. But tell me, how does it work? Do they give you a song list or do they
No.
just say, do your thing?
Yeah, do my thing.
Now, how has DJing, this whole world, evolved since you've been doing your thing since the late 90s? Because it seems like now, when you have people like Paris Hilton DJing at Atlantic City, it just seems like the world isn't quite what it was like back then.
Well, there were fewer DJs. It's easier to be a DJ now. It's not easier to be good.
Right.
See, people often, confuse that. It's not easier to do it well. It's easier to do it.
Right.
Back then, I used to shop for records every weekend. Now you don't have to shop for records.
That's true.
You go to iTunes, and suddenly you have all your selections and options on a computer.
Yeah, it's a fingertip away.
Yeah. So you no longer have to dig for vinyl. You no longer have to carry 9 crates to go to a job. So it's easier to get there. It's easier to have the music. It's not easier to be good. So there's a lot more people who want to do it. But I like that. I like that. I want it to spread. I want the craft to grow and spread. So the more, the merrier for me.
Okay, let's talk about your new album.
Yes, Paradise Royale.
All right. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Now, it's out
Let's talk about
it's
it.
out in August, right?
It's out in June.
In June.
Yeah.
Oh, good. But the lead single is with...
Calling All Hearts, featuring
yeah.
Robin Thicke and Jessie J.
Wow. What was it like to work
And
with
Make
those
the
two?
World Go Round, featuring R. Kelly. I think we have all that back here.
Okay, so
Well,
what
I
was it like
started
to work with all 3 of those characters?
Well, I started working on this album 4 years ago.
Okay. Wow.
So this has been a journey.
It's a labor of love.
Yes, it is and it was. And throughout my journey as a DJ, I saw one thing, and we discussed this kind of. I saw no matter what kind of music I played anywhere in the world, I saw the soul music of the late 1970s and early 1980s as the greatest dance music of all time. It was the one kind of music that truly touched everyone. It was so universal. It made everyone smile. It made everyone dance. And I set out on a mission 4 years ago to bring that sound back to the dance floor today. So I united 22 of the most legendary musicians of that era back in one room for the first time in over 30 years to channel their definitive sound with no samples, no covers, no machines.
Really?
So every musician of Earth, Wind & Fire, Verdine White, Philip Bailey, every musician of Chic, Rufus, Kool and the Gang, every musician who played on Off the Wall and Thriller from Michael and Quincy, the architects of that sound are playing every note on my album.
Oh, I need this album right now.
And then I said, now this music needs a new voice. So I went and got Robin Thicke, Jessie J, R. Kelly, and John Legend, Estelle, Kelly Rowland, Melanie Fiona, Passion Pit, Chromeo, Neo, CeeLo, and Usher, and Mary J. Blige, to write and record original songs to this music.
Wow.
Okay, promise me one thing, that we will be invited to the album release party.
Oh, that's gonna be a moment.
I know.
That's gonna be a moment. So my singles, Calling All Hearts, is just, it's such a definitive song of the album. It truly represents the sound of celebration. And then we have my second single, Make the World Go Round, featuring R. Kelly. I traveled to Chicago 8 times over 20 months to recruit R. Kelly.
Really?
Why was he initially reluctant to do it?
He wasn't. He wanted to on the first trip, but he's
Okay.
R. Kelly, and he had a tour and a book and an album, and you know, he's a genius, and sometimes it takes a genius, a minute. But I have a story like that for every artist on the album. It really was a journey for 4 years, and I'm so excited to put it out there.
So besides the book to make the album, what's next for you?
Oh my God. Well, you know, I'm so focused on the album, I couldn't even start to tell you. You know, right now my mission is to bring this music to the world. And every time I go out every night and I hear these songs in the clubs, Calling All Hearts, Robin Thicke, Jessie J, Make the World Go Round, R. Kelly, I hear them out every night now, and that's, to me, is like, that's, you know, that's what I wanted.
So when's the next fabulous party then? Tell us where we need to be.
You know they're telling us to rap,
I know.
and you keep
Okay,
asking
come on, where's the
questions.
party?
I'm not really allowed to say where that is. I'll have to tell you off air.
You'll
DJ
have,
Cassidy.
you'll have to tell us off camera.
I will
okay?
tell you
off
Promise?
camera.
All right.
Thank you for
Cassidy.
having me.
And thank you for
All right.
rocking all the fabulous parties I've ever attended.
thank you.
Thank you. I really
Thank you so
appreciate it.
much.
Thank you. All right.
All right,
And you're
you're
watching
watching
Arise Entertainment 360.